video, I'm going to be going over how to install the Accessorides plug-and-play remote start system. Now, when you get this in the mail, it does come in this box. Everything is contained in here, the module, as well as all of your connectors that go to all of the things for your BCM as well as your ignition. In the box, you'll also get a return envelope here. It's already pre-labeled, and it has what you would need to put your module in. So your module would go back in here after the initial install for them to program. However, they also include this bypass jumper. So once you've installed it, you can put this bypass jumper on, and then you'll send your module back. But they also give you a micro USB cable, so you can program it yourself, and they show you the programming instructions right here. So all that is included, and if you're comfortable enough with the programming, you can do it yourself at home, and I'll show you how that worked as well. You also get some zip ties, an accessory trim tool, things like that, just some general additional things that you may need or you may feel that you need if you don't already have some of this stuff at home. So let's take a look at the installation. So what you have to do here is for the Crosstrek is remove these trim panels. This one here easily pops out. You can use an accessory tool, but it really does easily pop out. This one will come out. This is where your fuse box is, and those of you with a Crosstrek know that this tray easily pops off. This, I believe, is an airbag. It is an airbag, and so you don't want to mess with that at all. But this piece does need to come off so that you can access the steering column here on the bottom. This bottom portion is what you need to take off, and that is easily removed with 2 screws. Once you have that open, you're trying to access this particular ignition terminal or module. You unplug it here as it's shown, and then you just plug in the one from the system itself. And to get this trim panel off, you just want to remove this one screw, and then it just basically folds down and comes right out. So once you pop this out, and you can just reach in here and pop it out with your finger, as I'm doing here, and then you want to remove this screw right here, and then this piece of trim, this entire piece, will just fold down pretty much and come off. That gives you access to the fuse panel, and also where I happen to ground the system. So you do have to have a ground. There's a ground wire, it's easily identifiable, and there's a screw right here that goes right into a piece of bare metal, and that's where I grounded out the system. Up in here, this is where the main installation takes place. So this is where you want to unplug 3 modules, plugging them into the system. And here's what it looks like when you look up in there, and it's really hard to see. Even with my GoPro reaching up in there with a light, you can't really see it that well. But you're unplugging the top, second, and fourth, or the bottom one. You leave the third one in place, and basically you can't install this wrong. So each module fits into one another. So even if you're trying all 3, it's only going to fit into one. And then you just place it into the correct position, again in that first, second, and fourth or bottom location on the BCM. Now, whenever you're looking at the module itself, this is what it looks like. It's fairly simple layout, and once you've done the installation, you need to kind of take everything out, because you're going to take this to your computer to do your programming. So the M1-8 pin black here at the top, that's the last thing you want to unplug, and you want to again unplug all of these other, the M4, 5, 2, 3, the telematic pin, all those. You need to take all of those out, and then go into your house or bring out your computer and plug your module in. Instructions are included to go to this web link desktop where you're going to do your programming. It's very simple. You install it. You run it. Once you run it, you'll have to log in, which you are given the login and password, and you simply go in, plug in your module. It reads the module. It doesn't flash it. I guess it just programs it. So just follow the instructions that are listed that you're given from Accessorides. So you don't want to flash it. This is not a new programming. Just really follow the instructions carefully, and it takes somewhere between 4 and 7 minutes to completely program the module. Once that's done, you want to go back out to your vehicle, plug in all those pins that you unplugged earlier back into the system, plug in the power last, and then go ahead and follow the instructions that are listed on this sheet here. Whenever you initially do the install, you're going to go and walk through 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 obviously tells you to disconnect power last from the module. Once you've done your programming, which is number 5, then you're going to come back outside, plug it back in, and it says in number 6 very clearly, don't press that programming button. You need to connect everything first, including the power, and then follow the instructions for 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., and walk through that. Once you do that, it's done. I mean, it really took me about 22 minutes to do the install. Very simple, easy to put the wires and hide everything, zip tie everything up underneath the dash, and that was really it. So this is the actual vehicle here that I installed it on. So as you can see, it works great. I did have to drop audio here at the end, but you can see that it was 95 degrees outside at 6 o'clock. Here in Florida, it's like that every day. So inside the vehicle, it's probably more like 110. So having a remote start is definitely something you want. And as you can see, I even keep a windshield cover on, and my windows are tinted, so to cut down on the heat, but it's still extremely hot. And so whenever you go places, you definitely want to make sure you have a remote start so you can kick that AC on before you get into the car. This does not turn off. Like I've heard the normal Subaru remote start turns off when you go to open the door or unlock the door, and then you have to start the car again. This one doesn't do that. As you can see here, it stays started. I unlocked the car, got in the car, closed the door, put the key in the ignition, and turn the ignition switch to on, and hit the brake, and you're all set. The engine never cuts out or turns off at all. So really simple to install, highly recommended here. And then I know some of you are going to ask about the beep. So whenever I started the car, you notice I hit the lock button 3 times, and it didn't beep. That loud, not beep didn't happen. Now I'm going to show you how to turn that off. It's a fairly simple process. It took me, again, literally 10 seconds to do it, but you have to get in the car and you have to follow a very specific set of instructions, and I'll put those here for you so that you can see how that works if you want to do that as well. So that is it. Again, I apologize for not taking you down the path with me and instead giving you the directions to go down the path. However, hopefully by watching this video, understanding the instructions, understanding that you can program the module yourself, that you will make the decision to go with Accessorides for any type of remote start for your vehicle, because the harnesses, the instructions, along with this video should give you plenty of confidence that you can do this on your own. So thank you very much for watching. Please check any links down in the description box below. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, please put those down in the comments section below. Thanks.